What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Smooth152, and I'm back in the building. You already know what it is when you see my face on the screen. It's that story time. And today, it's not going to be one of them regular story times where you get the laughter and all that. It's going to be one of them laid back, somber type of things. Know what I mean? I'm going to get into the story like this. But first, I'm going to need y'all to slap that motherfucking like button, get them likes up. You know what I mean? I need to go tell a friend to come join the Smooth gang. You know what I mean? And subscribe to the channel. You know what I mean? Leave some comments. Let me know what y'all want to hear. If y'all got any story time that I think that y'all think I might have in my mind or may have available, hit me up. Let me know. Let me know what you want to hear. I might have a story time for you. But yo, let's get into this. Alright, this story takes place like about 17 years old, and I just moved to East Orange on 17th Street, right? So I've been living up here for a couple of months, maybe like 6, 7 months before I met my man that became my best friend that I called my cousin. Every day, me and this dude was together. Every day. Tall, light-skinned, pretty boy ass nigga. And you got me, chocolate, pretty boy ass nigga. We was out here killing the streets on these. We was out here getting them, and not caring about nothing. We was out here on a rampage every day. We wasn't on no chat line. We was out there in them streets, running around, bagging anything and everything that was moving that looked official. So yeah, we was out there. Wasn't nothing getting past us if you ain't let it. Know what I mean? We ain't like it, you slid. But if we wanted you, we was on you. And 9 times out of 10, we walked away with that number. Know what I mean? So I met this nigga, like, I was doing something in the hood, and he was coming down 17 toward the end of my block where I live at, and I was going towards where he lived at. So basically, we bumped heads on 17 to William Street. Tall, light-skinned nigga with a high top feed. I'm a short chocolate nigga with a high top feed. And he was on one corner from me, and I was on this corner. So we standing there, and we just so happened to just look at each other. And that nigga was like, hey, yo. And I was like, God damn. You know what I mean? This nigga was like Kid and Play like. You know what I mean? He had this shit up there. He was tall, light skinned, straight. Yo, he had this shit on point. So we was like, what's up? So he's like, yo, what's up? So we crossed the street. I crossed over, and we met on the same corner. Where you from? I'm from Newark. Where you from? I just moved from BA up here. Grandma lived down the block. I said, I live on this end. So, like, you smoke? I'm like, yeah. Did you drink? Like, yeah. What's up? So that's where it all started. You smoke, you drink. Cool. We turned around, went to the liquor store. Boom. This was back then before Naughty by Nature came out and everything. I lived around the corner from them. Right on the they lived on 18. I lived on the same half they lived on 17. So I can literally hop the gate and be on their block, or go around the corner and be on their block. But that's another story for that, you know what I mean? So went to the liquor store, got our drinks, and where we went, you know what I mean? On the way back, we knew somebody that sold some bud, so we copped them bud and shit. You know, so he goes back, we go to his crib, go in the backyard, sit on the porch, and we sitting there smoking and shit. So this is like my first time actually venturing down to the next half of 17, because whenever I left, I only went to Eaton Place or William Street and ventured up the Grove. That's as far as I went. Those areas right there, I stayed in my circumference because I ain't know nobody. Right? So, boom. From that day on, me and that nigga were together every motherfucking day. You know what I mean? So, he would hit me, what you doing? You dressed? Coming out? True? So we got real cool, you know what I mean? Start going out in these streets just to be fucking with somebody. It's just like, let's go bag with some chicks. Cool. I'm with it. Me and the nigga get up, get dressed, get fly, go out, hit up Main Street, walk up and down Main Street, or we just walk up and down Park Ave, or just go to different blocks and shit like that. You know what I mean? And see what we see. So, boom. One day, this nigga had met this chick named Cookie, living around the corner on Park Ave in the building. Bad little light skin. So, he introduced me to her one time. She's like, you got a sister? And she got a sister. Yeah, they twins. Oh, the guy I had no about. So, introduced me to her sister. Shit ain't work out. No, I mean, she wasn't liking what she seen, and I was like, all right, cool. I may be too short for you. I don't know. I don't care. What you don't like, somebody else will. That was my attitude back then. I ain't care. Rejection was nothing. Yeah, whatever. Whatever you don't like, somebody else will. Guaranteed I'll bag somebody better than you in 10 minutes. Watch that. So, went around there. We drank with them. We spoke with them. She on some old conceited type, standoffish, like don't want to conversate. So, yo, man, I'm ready to go, yo. What up? You standing around here? I'm going back around the block. They're like, yo, go to my house. Meet me at my house. All right, cool. So I skated off. Left. Know what I mean? Went right around the corner. Sat on this porch. Rolled up. Now, after that shit, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. So, boom. Speed it up a little bit. Now, me and this nigga been cool for at least about, I was 17 when I moved to East Orange. He's younger than me. Know what I mean? So, I had met this chick named Tanisha. Rest in peace. I'm about to tell you about that in a minute, though. I had met this chick named Tanisha from Bloomfield and shit. It was one of them days I was on the fucking chat line and I bagged her. Boom. So back then, I ain't really care. If I had a chick and it wasn't the main chick and you knew about it, I didn't care. Like, main chick is off limits. Anybody else, they can get it. But I never told this nigga that she was my main chick, which is something that I just hit. Know what I mean? So one day, he said he was out riding his bike and shit. And he went through Orange and went through Cleveland. That's where her pops used to live at. And she was at her pop's house this weekend. And this nigga bagged her. So I'm like, oh shit, okay. So when he brought her around, he was like, yo, you think I'm playing? I'm like, she light skinned? Yeah. I read it down to him. He was like, yeah, that's her. So we were like, fuck, let's go up there. So we go up there. She didn't know I was with him. So when we went, the nigga took me, he tapped on the window. And when she came to the window, he was standing out. I was standing under the window. He was standing like on the sidewalk so she could see who was knocking on the window. So when she busted the screen up and stuck her head out the window, I stepped from under the window and looked. Like, hey, what's up? And she was like, oh, no. And she tried to close the screen all quick. Boom. I'm like, yo, you good. I ain't mad you talked to my cousin. We had lost contact, so it's all good. You can holler at him if you want. I'm not mad. We were just talking to each other. He met this new chick, and I ran it down. I'm like, oh, word? He's like, yeah. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm not mad about it. So what's up? How you been? She was all fucked up. She didn't want to say shit. She didn't want to come back to that window or nothing. So boom. We was still cool, all that shit. Nobody held a grudge. I knew how to act cordial. She knew how to act cordial. Know what I mean? If we wanted something to happen, it could happen. Know what I mean? What? I was there first. Ray J voice. But yeah. So one night, it was me, my cousin, my man Tommy, and her. She had came to the hood one day. I'm like, oh shit, you driving now? She was like, yeah, Pop bought me a car, you know what I mean? She had a little yellow Hyundai Scoop or some shit like that. yellow shits, back in the day type shit. So we was all chilling one day. Oh, it was a Friday night. It was a Friday. Oh, we was all chilling. Oh, so after that night, we had made plans. Well, that night, while we was riding around going to different spots and shit, we had made plans to go to the Apollo. This when the Apollo was still open and jumping. This was early 90s, like early 90s situation. Loud ass fucking car. But it was early 90s, like 91, 90, 90, 91. So we had made plans to go to Apollo that Saturday. Boom. So everybody go home. You know what I mean? We all in front of his house. Tommy lived across the street from him, so all he had to do was cross the street. I had to go up the hill. I mean, down the block. I'm good. I can walk. So, no. Matter of fact, at this time, I had moved to Park Ave in Clinton. He still lived on 17. But at this time, when we had planned to go to Apollo, I had moved up to Park Ave in Clinton. That's where I was living at then. So, boom. So, the next day, I had my pager, my cell phone on the bed. So that Saturday, well, that Friday night, no, with that Saturday, early Saturday, got up, came outside. Now I live in the corner of Park Ave and Clinton. Really, stolen cars don't come through there like that. But this one particular day, it was a stolen Cherokee, and this shit came from Avon Ave. Y'all can go back and look this shit up. Know what I mean? It happened on Mother's Day. Know what I mean? It's supposed to say Mother's Day. I got the clip. I might be able to insert it, or I just might just come back and let y'all see the clippings that from that accident. Know what I mean? The police wasn't supposed to be chasing this kid. He was a kid. I think like 14, 15 years old kid driving a stolen Cherokee, and they had gotten into a chase. And my cousin was driving, my ex was in the passenger seat, and my man Tommy was in the back seat. You know what I mean? Everybody was doing a little shopping before that night. Before we left out to go to Apollo and shit. So I see this stolen car coming up Park Ave. I'm on the corner, about to cross the street, and I'm hearing the police, and I'm looking. So I'm like, oh shit, it's a chase. This nigga coming doing a dash on this in this Cherokee. Woo! Now, if you keep going straight up Park Ave, it's a hill on Prospect. You hit that hill too high, you gonna take flight. No, he didn't care. He took that right over the hill. Boom. Then he went down some further, came back, straight back up Park Ave, where he just came from. Flew past us again. So I'm like, all right, cool. These niggas out here acting a fool today. So I continued to go on about my day. I spoke to my cousin before I seen all this. Niggas said they was making their moves. Cool. Hit me when y'all done. I'll come down. So that shit flies back past me again. And I see them bust a right on Arlington. So they're going towards the south side now. So the police still on them. So it's East Orange, North, and I think it was Irvington. They were always chasing this one fucking Cherokee. So somewhere in between them going back to the south side, my cousin ran into them some type of way. My cousin was coming across, coming up Burnett, going towards Main Street. Now I told you, this car was coming from this side of town, well, Park Ave, and going towards the way they was traveling. So I don't know how he managed to, know what I mean, think he was out weaving them niggas or whatever. But some way, somehow, him and my cousin met. Now, excuse me, I'm just thinking about the shit. Like, that shit was crazy. But East Orange, North Irvington was chasing this Cherokee, and the way my cousin was going, he had to be coming from Central Avenue way and coming across, and they was coming towards him. So at the corner, it's a stop sign, clear as day. You're supposed to stop right there. Motherfucker wasn't trying to stop, and him and my cousin collided. Boom! He hit my cousin so hard they ended up hitting the building. Boom! Now remember, I told you my cousin was driving. My ex-girl was in the passenger seat, and my man Tommy was in the back. Now, if y'all know what a Hyundai Scoop is, y'all know that shit ain't but so big. She died on impact. My cousin died 2 or 3 days later. They took him off life support. The only person that lived was my man Tommy. When I went to go see Tommy, when I went to go see him, I found out that he was still on life support when I went to go see him. Tommy was good. Tommy was just fucked up. Facial lacerations. He broke his pelvis, broke his leg, fucked the leg up. Because he was in the back seat, in the back seat asleep. He said he was drunk. They was drinking and shit. So he was drinking before he got with them. This happened this was early in the daytime. So when this shit happened, he probably left East Orange and came back because this happened once it got dark. And it was early in the daytime when I seen him. So this happened like once it really started to get dark. And then they met. He pushed him into the building. She died she was on the passenger side. She died at the scene. He died a couple of days later to come off life support. He was brain dead. My cousin Tommy only one that survived. And he didn't know what the fuck was going on. All he knew is when he woke up, he was in the hospital. So he asking me, what do I know? Now, that Saturday, when all that shit happened, I didn't see that shit until the news came on. And I was wondering why nobody called me. And I'm sitting in the crib and I'm like, yo, what the fuck niggas at? I didn't think to call them. So I'm like, all right, they're just gonna pull up and just, be outside. Come on. Cool. That's how we usually do. So I ain't thinking of it. I'm watching TV, flick the channels and hit the news. Boom, Channel 11 News, seeing this shit. Man, listen. They didn't pull my ex out because she was against the building. So they had to get everybody out through the driver's side where my cousin was at. When they got my cousin out the car and they put him up on that motherfucking stretcher, yo, they tried to put his arms like this or on his waist. That nigga arm just flipped down like, I'm like, yo, nah. And then I see they opened up the hatch part, the trunk part, like a little hatch. And they reached in and they dragged Tommy out the shit. And I just hear Tommy screaming, oh, no, no. He fucked up because he was laying down in the back seat, asleep. So he fucked up his pelvis, broke his leg, fucked his leg up. He had pins and needles in his legs and glass and shit. Cut his face, little pieces of shit like. But he got that all fixed up. He good. But I lost my ex and my cousin. That's crazy. All due to something I used to do when I was younger, steal cars and all types of shit like that. But this was reckless. They knew they wasn't supposed to chase this kid rather, and they still did. It cost my ex and my cousin their life. Like I said, I can go back. This happened in '97. I can go back Mother's Day. Know what I mean? East Orange, stolen Cherokee, has an accident with a Hyundai Scoop on Lennox and Burnett. That shit should pop up. Mother's Day, like I know it's a Mother Day something, and that shit is in there. They got a clip in the old shit, or you can go if you can find a news clip, go back and watch the news clip. It's still in the news. Like, just check it out. You know what I mean? That's what I had to deal with. So, yeah. So this your boy Smooth 152. I'm good. I'll holler at y'all in the next video. I'm gone.